Good morning to everyone on this April 12th, 2024. Glad to have everybody here. All right, let's talk about the market a little bit. I think what we have is a very mixed bag in the market. I think both longs can make some money, and I think both shorts can make some money, both bulls and bears. I think you're going to have to trade pretty carefully, cautiously. I do think that. For the entire morning here, our pre-market, I would like to use this chart with no candlesticks on it. And I'm going to run through the indices, a couple of things. And then if you guys, seeing how it's Friday, if you have some charts that we can add to it, I would greatly appreciate that, okay? So let me get through the indices here, and something I want to point out here. Now, without the price action, all we're looking for is really something that's comfortable. I personally find sideways not comfortable. I find that a bullish trend, every morning I do this, you'd think I'd figure it out. I like a bullish trend to actually be bullish. I like a bearish trend to actually be bearish. This sideways business I find uncomfortable. And everyone here in the room that I have talked with about this, or maybe you've commented in the room, I've never run across anybody that says, I love sideways chop. I've never heard anyone say that. So I'm guessing that most people don't like it. So most people like the upside. So see how we're moving sideways here? Also see how the yellow line is below the white line? We're still relatively green right here on the trend indicator. I mean, for the most part, it's green. It's got a little, yesterday we had, day before yesterday, we moved down a little bit, right? But you can see how the sellers have a little bit more control, but overall we're moving sideways. Well, let's take a look at the Qs here. Kind of a different picture. It's kind of moving up, and here we're starting to move up a little bit. You see the yellow line, which is the faster line, that's the 3, the 8, the T line, and then the green dot, that's the trend indicator. You can see how it's starting to turn up a little bit. So there might be a little bit of bullishness in there, where the SPY we looked at, it was more sideways to down. This is up to sideways, just a little bit more up. If we take a look at FNGU, the FANG stocks, look at that. Look how that trend indicator is green. And look how we're moving up here. The faster moving average, the slower moving average. I think we have a nice chart here, a very tradable chart. So the charts that's going to be working with those FANG stocks might be the ones you might want to look at if you're trading to the long side. Let's take a look at IWM here. Look at IWM. We're trading to the downside. So the small caps are down. I'm not sure I'm even going to call that sideways. I think we're looking more to the downside here. Let's look at the diamonds. Diamonds are clearly, without question, to the downside. And it doesn't matter what the current candle is doing. I don't even know what it's doing. And if the current candle, if it was doing something like this right here, which it's not, but if it was doing something like that, that would mean absolutely nothing until we get back into trend. Now that candle, if it was doing that this morning, pre-market, and then say Monday, we had some follow through, probably would take Tuesday follow through to lift all this up. And then more than likely, we're going to see a little bit of a pullback, but this will be lifted up by then. And then we may have something there, but we don't have that. So, and I'm not trying to predict that at all. I'm just saying that if we ended up bullish today, there's just no way it's going to turn this up. Let's look at IYT, the transports. Transports are down, maybe down. We'll use down first, a little bit of sideways, but definitely down. Let's look at SMH. Look how that's turning up. So I would say maybe at the same time, sideways and up. You see that sideways move. That's chop. That's hard to trade right in there. So I think this is a great chart to help you stay on the side of the trade that you're going to trade on, and stay with the trend there. So if anyone has this, I'd love to hear how you might use just a plain chart, something like this. In the meantime, does anyone have any charts you want to take a look at? And again, well, I guess for that, here, let's put price on there. For that, we'll put price. There we go. There we are. All right, somebody tossed one out. And there we go, JP Morgan. So we're going to trade off earnings right away. You know what I better do? Let's see what this is doing. Okay, so you want to know about JP earnings. Do you see anything other than a bearish trade? So let's take this right here. If you look at that, you can see we're clearly going down, right? So that tells you that the sellers are controlling it right through here. You can see right through here where there's been a little bit of support. Right through there. And then that support is broken. Make sense? So right now with JP Morgan, I personally don't believe there's a trade there. Would you agree, Stefan? Or do you see a trade? You see a trade? You might want to share that then. See, for long, I think you're going to have to break out. Now, this is my personal trading, is all it is. And I think for a short, we're going to need a little bit of a rally, and then we might get that entry up here. But if you have a trade, please share. Anyone else have anything you want to look at? Walmart. So Walmart here, and I am currently long Walmart myself. Walmart's is going to need to hold this 50% level right through here. So by the end of the day, we're going to need to come up. We've got this big candle in there, and that big candle's kind of saving us. But if price action, say yesterday, price action crushed that big candle. It didn't crush it enough to destroy it. Now we have the next day on here, which is today. And if that crushes that candle and below that 50%, then I'm probably going to have to step out of that more than likely at the end of the day if this doesn't kind of repair itself. So we could move down a little bit lower, but it could also pop back up. So I'm, for the most part, unless everything just turns totally south, I'll probably stick with this until the end of the day, and I'll make my last judgment call there. If you look, we still have, see how the trend indicator is still green? Dots are green. See how the yellow is still above the white? To me, that is still a bullish chart. Here, let's pull this off. There we go. That's still working toward the bullish side. The fast line came up over the slower line. You can see it peaked right in here, and now it's pulling back. And we're doing this little consolidation. But like I say, we need to be careful with that. But right now, I'm still looking at that to the long side until it's not. Put this back up. There we go. And what else do we have here? CMI. So, let's see, Stefan, you've got 2 calls on it. If you wouldn't mind, at some point today, I would love to hear your trade plan and your logic to buying those calls. Share with everybody in the trading room the logic of that. I think that would be a great idea. I would love to see it. Okay. So CMI, for the most part, is still bullish here, trending up. We just have a pre-market candle. Pre-market, I personally I don't give a lot of weight to pre-market. I don't give a ton of weight to pre-market. I would rather just look at that trend and trade that trend, wait till the market opens, and honestly wait till there's more traders trading out there. So while the pre-market candle here probably not looking the best, I would much rather see how we're going to handle after the market opens. So right now, I would still be bullish on this CMI. TER. Look how that's moving sideways there. We have that sideways move. Now I do see the potential in here, but do you see the potential of this head and shoulders? And we're going to have to come all the way over here too. See that potential? We're going to need to get through that. So above 111.70, that's what I would look at for a trade, personally, on TER. GPK long. GPK to the long side. Our trend is still up, isn't it? And that's what we want. This is there you go. Our trend is still up. And if we're going to trade long, this is the kind of trend we want to trade in. The price action, it's secondary until you're ready to buy it. So here's a nice trend moving up, and then you get this price action in here, and we're opening up at the lower end. If we started to move up, now I'm one of these T-line guys, that white line there, that 8 exponential moving average. I'm one of those guys that if, you know what, I probably should do it like this. If we started to come up over that area today and we could close there, that would be a buy to me. Right in there. That would be a buy to me. I'm finding it interesting that nobody is throwing shorts out there. Very interesting. Amazon. Don't do it now just because, but so far there's no shorts. I do find that interesting. Amazon is still long. Trade your trade. Yeah, Amazon is still long. Trade your trade. You've got 2 days up. You might have a little pullback here. There is no reason at this point to be short Amazon. No reason at all. Oxy, this is another one that I'm holding, and that looks bullish. Here's our nice bullish trend. There's our bullish trend. Here you can see where we popped up. Went sideways. We'll extend it all the way to here. Then we went sideways. Nice pop out of the box. See how we're breaking out pre-market? Remember, I don't put a lot of weight into pre-market. I really, really, really don't. Well, I guess I take that back. Where I would put a lot of weight in pre-market is if this candle here was doing this. Okay, all right, whoops, we have a problem, right? If you own it, and I own Oxy. So, but that's not what it's doing. And so really what I'm looking at is this right in here, and then I can see pre-market where we're doing okay, but I've seen so many times where the pre-market will look pretty good here, but then it'll turn, and move down a little bit. So that's kind of micromanaging through there. Overall, it's the trend, and it's that chart pattern there. J-hook continuation pattern is what I see working here. So I like the Oxy chart. There's still some energy charts that are very, very nice. Let's see. I'd like to look at shutting down early for the weekend. I'm with you, Rickster, and I'm going to do that. Yep, BKR. Let's look at BKR. Nice chart. Like I said, the energy charts are still looking pretty good here. Here's, again, our trend. That's number one. Trend is up. Yellow is above the white. Price action, you can see how it rolls up and we roll back. So yesterday, we came down and tested the trend indicator, put in a nice tail on it, and closed up. This morning, pre-market, we've got that tail again. We start to move over yesterday's candle. I see that as a buy. BKR, nice. Very nice. I like that. AMD. AMD still sucking pond water, to tell you the truth. Whoops, sorry, T. I just saw that. I'll come back to DKS. Yeah, AMD is still sucking pond water. That's still short. I still have target about 161.20. And if we can't hold here, now, hold, what does hold mean? All right. And this is, this is one of those things where a trader's got to read between the lines. So I say if we don't hold here, well, what if we come down and then let's make that green. Green. Does that mean that we held? No. It's the price action movement is not where we're generally speaking. I'm not nitpicking the chart. I don't want to nitpick the chart. So if we come down to that around 61, 161, if we come down there and then we bounce, that's not a sign to be bullish. And that doesn't mean that line held, because it's the overall picture we're looking at. There's the trend right there. Anything below that downtrend is bearish. So that move up to me is still bearish. So if we move up, that might be a good opportunity to buy puts and then roll to the downside. Now we fail here. I'm looking at this area here, 146, 90, 150, somewhere in that area, right in there. But that's probably going to take some market stumbling to get down into there. DKS, that has been a booger, and here it gaps down. So that's been kind of floating around in here. That's short, so that's looking pretty short there. Again, a simple, very simple, I'm going to remove those lines. A very simple way to trade is let's move this off, move price off. Okay. Trend indicator red. The faster moving average below the T line and T line below the trend indicator. This whole, once it started here, the handwriting jumped on the wall there. And now we've got the T line coming down through. That's like confirmation on it. So when we see this, that's a sign that this chart is short. Now that doesn't mean that it's a buy, okay? But it's certainly not a reason to be long. That I will jump up and down over. Now, then what we do, I'm going to make this green. In this area, or maybe back here, we start looking for our entry based on price action. The overall trend is now down. Now we start looking at price action. And in case, say price action was down here, well, that might not be a buy. That's too far down. What we need is price to come back up, and then all these colors, and then we'll start looking for another short in here. Okay. So anyway, right now, DKS is looking pretty good to the short side. All righty. Hey, Bob. XLI long. There we go. No. Now, I say no. You say yes, maybe. Somebody else says yes. You guys all know that trading, for the most part, is an opinion, right? It's an opinion of mine. It's an opinion of yours. So my opinion on this chart, it's not long till it breaks out over these highs. Not 1 penny long until it breaks over these highs. Now that's That's my logic by trading. Other traders, you might find it interesting in here. So it's, I mean, that's what trading is. It's traders. One trader says, hey, this is a buy. Another trader says it's not. And you realize that for every buyer, you've got to have a seller. For every seller, you've got to have a buyer. So it makes sense to have so many different ways to trade. So for me, to the long side, like I say, it would have to be over here. And then look at our trend. Forget what price is doing. Let's get rid of price. Look at our trend. That's number one. What is the trend telling us? Not so good. So not for the long side anyway. All right, not for the long. And then you wrote up there a pop-up. Yeah, if you want to use the word pop-up, okay. It's going to have to climb. It's going to have to put its special climbing boots on. But yeah, over around this 126. 10, 126.15 area. That's what I would look at. Now, let's talk about bullish charts. And I'm not running, I wouldn't necessarily run into this bearish. Well, I take that back, okay? Does it have room to move down? Yes, it does. Would the stock be bearish? No, it wouldn't be. Would it be bearish? Sure. So, what we could here, let me draw this up. And I didn't realize what time it was. I'm way past my time here, so this has to be the last one. Say that we did this. All right. So is this bearish? Meaty bearish? No, it's not, because we can still draw a line there. Look at the distance from here to here. It's still moving up. But is it bearish? Yes. It is. It's bearish for the person that's trading that, I don't want to say time frame. I don't want anyone to think we're moving off the daily. But this time outlook, okay, that, yeah, it's bearish. But if we come in here and we find support and the bulls start coming in like that, would we not have just a simple pullback and a rally up? So anyway, I look at this chart, and what I really want to get to is, what do bullish charts do? Every single one of them. I'm going to move this over as much as I can. That much, I guess. Every single bullish chart does this. And what I'm going to do is put this consolidation area. Now, can it consolidate a little more down? Yes, it can. Right, so I'm going to kind of give it a little bit more. Look at this consolidation right there. Look at that consolidation. We'll call that consolidation. Consolidation. This is nothing but little consolidation. That's all this is, right? Let's do that. Now, let's do this. Overall, see the trend here? I have to sneeze. I'm going to try to hold it off. Man, that's hard. See the overall trend there? All bullish charts do this. And now we connect those consolidation areas. That's a pretty long one. We'll just connect like that. See how we connect those? Now see, I'm going to connect this right to here. So here's another consolidation area. So overall, I'm still relatively bullish on the market. Overall. So that would mean XLE, for me, potentially could have the next consolidation up here. So now we wait for the buyers to step in, and then we can connect it like that. Right now, based on the chart that I see in front of me, I can't predict how today's going to end. I can't predict what tomorrow's going to do, or next week. I can't do that. All I know is if this starts to move up, it's going to need to take out this 126.10 area. And when it does, we can now start reaching. This is where the money is made on a swing. This is where we can start reaching to the next consolidation. And there will be another consolidation area if we break out. Anyway, hope that made some sense. Stick with the trend. Trade the trend. Trade the trend. That's so important. The market. Look at the trend of the market. And, you know, we looked at the SPY, the Qs, IWM, the diamonds. There is nothing but a mixed bag there. So I just want to shout out, have some serious caution, especially for the smaller accounts. All right, the smaller accounts need to be very, very careful. You know, if you have a $5,000 account and you lose $1,000, it hurts. Man, it hurts. But you know, if you have a $100,000 account and you lose $1,000, so what? Have some caution. All right, we'll see everybody at the bottom of the hour, okay? You guys all take care. See you shortly.